Hi.
He's alive.
We have to go check on my mom's chickens. Completely forgot about it this morning. Look at the moles. They're about.
Oh, you should see my mom and dad's. Oh, looks like a coyote dead.
Forgot about them this morning. So I got to run over there and make sure the doors are open, feed and water are good. But yeah.
Still got nobody.
And if anybody does show up yet, I went fishing yesterday morning. That was an absolute complete mistake because of the heat, the humidity, and the mosquitoes have mutated to not so small mosquitoes. They're absolutely massive. I swore I saw a saddle on one yesterday.
Have you told them the new changes?
So
New changes.
So we're going to be adding hunting onto this channel this fall, and Colin's podcast is just going to be Colin's podcast. Just because it'd be a lot easier for me to film on my phone or whatever I have instead of him filming and having to transfer everything over through Facebook, email, whatever. Because for some reason when I try and download whatever he sends me through Facebook Messenger, it doesn't like to download.
Old school.
And yeah, so, and he likes to try and keep his phone empty for whatever else happens in the future.
It's true.
So, but it's an absolute pain in the A. So,
Well, you're past the 90-second mark to be able to cuss and swear.
why is somebody on?
No. Oh, we have one.
Hey, there's a meat sale.
There is. I think we got plenty of meat.
We're in Amish country, so they do a bunch of meat sales. So, but is there
No, it doesn't say. It just says the one little person up top.
nobody? Has anybody?
Oh, there's 4.
Anybody tapped?
No, nobody's tapped.
Comment.
No, only 4. See?
Oh, well, you gotta hit something down there or whatever.
I'm looking.
Let's see if anybody commented
Where? Down here?
somewhere here. Let me see.
No, you're driving. You stop it.
I don't know. Look.
I'm looking. Oh, we got a heart.
We did?
You got a heart. I just saw it.
Oh boy.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, now there's 8.
Yep.
Wow. So, we got the hearts flying. Oh, that's so pretty.
Somebody did comment.
It says hi.
Hi. How's everything
At
going?
MIA. Hey, what's up? M says, what's up?
Yeah.
Rebecca Towns got married yesterday. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh wow! Congratulations.
Glenn said hi. David, what's happening, brother?
Hey, what was
Norman.
that?
David.
David. Oh, okay. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, we got the hearts flowing. Oh, we got 16. That is awesome. Norman says hi.
Yep.
You might want to recap just quick in case they missed it.
I don't know what's going on, but that is one goofy car.
That is an awesome car.
That
just
is an
drove
awesome
by.
car. But that was kind of like a roadster type car.
Was old school. Love
yeah.
it.
But right now we are heading over to my mom and Steve's place.
You don't have a neck.
because-
Neither one of us really do. We're big boys.
Yeah, man.
Norman says, what are you doing?
So we're heading to my mom's place because I forgot to do chicken chores this morning. He was coming over to do a podcast on his channel.
Actually, a couple of them because we do them outright.
Yeah, and
We are not in a small car. We are in a full-size truck.
yeah, and so I got to run over to my mom's place to do that. Make sure they have feed and water. Open the door up.
Ha!
So
Ms. Tay Beauty says, are y'all twins? No, we are no relation.
yeah, no relation whatsoever.
We just big corn-fed Iowa boys.
Yep. We like food.
We do like food, but no, we are not twins. Our wives say we're married to one another.
Yeah. Oh.
No, we're not cousins. Absolutely no relation whatsoever.
No relation. So, but yeah,
We act like we're married, though.
Yeah, we do act like we're married, but we're not married.
No,
our wives
God,
say
no.
we are married to each other, but we're not.
We're just that good of friends.
Yep.
Although, what do you like to say every time I call you?
I say a lot of pet names to him because he's always calling me. I never call him.
Go figure.
He always calls me and it's like, yeah, one of these days he's going to call me.
Never does. I'm the one that has to instigate the conversations. Except last night he did call.
That was because my mom wanted to know how big your camper was.
Wish I had a friend like that. Everybody needs a friendship like what we've got. I am actually fortunate enough that I actually have a couple friends that are like that. I mean, you can ask Mason. My inner circle is very, very tight.
My inner circle is very small. I have 2 other friends, but we never call each other. But if those 2 other friends, if one of us is having an issue or a problem, we're right there. So
our friend he knows that if I call him in the middle of the night, he knows something is not right.
Yep.
Especially if I blow his phone up.
Yep, exactly.
And that's normally he's either acting. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that.
Yep. On top of fishing videos, and Colin's channel is just going to be his podcast channel, just because it's easier that way.
Easier for me to upload stuff because there's not a lot of editing that we're going to do when it comes to that.
There's a bunch of turkey vultures up there on that tree.
Oh, now we're down back down to one.
Does anybody have any questions? Any other questions?
We only got one on. Oh. This is kind of difficult. Back up to 4.
Questions. Fishing,
Questions,
hunting.
comments, concerns.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fishing, hunting, conservation, gardening, farming, whatever.
we're going to have interesting topics to talk about on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Oh, well, now we're back up to 6.
But, yep. And good news, though, we did not lose any public lands. Yes.
Don't get me started.
Yes. One for conservation.
So far. We'll get into that, I guess.
No.
I hate to say it, but
No, we're not getting we're not getting into that. You and
it's
I
only
see
it's
totally
only
different.
Hey,
On that
I agree with it. Oh, my shoulder. I agree with it. Okay. That public land should not be sold. I'll go that route. I'll say that
But
much.
do they need to be managed? Yes.
They do, but this is only a short-term win unless we do some changes,
Yep.
everybody. Because you honestly think they're going to try and stop?
No, they're not going to stop. No, they're not going to stop. So
There is going to end up having to be a give and take,
yeah,
and that's what I'm going to mention.
No, we're not going to give. We're not going to give in. If they put a saying, if they only said they were going to sell that 1%, and that was it from here on out, from future till the Earth is not Earth anymore, we probably would have given in to that. But
We'll see.
In that whole deal, a bunch of people looked into that whole what he wrote in, and there was not a cap on it. There was nothing written in to say that was it. That was done and over.
But what I want to know is, what do you guys think of him adding hunting? Whoa, I lost it. There we go. Hey, I caught it. My bad, guys. My bad. What do you think of him, good old Mason there, adding hunting on his channel? That's the $1 million question on that one.
We can do it. It'll be a battle because the YouTube algorithm's going to have to try and find a whole different new audience than just straight fishing. But what'd that person say down at the bottom? Can you read it?
It was MS. Wish I had a friend. We're up to 9. Hi, everybody.
Yep. We need some questions.
Comments, concerns.
Anything and everything.
We'll answer anything you want. It can be, why do you guys not have a neck? We'll answer anything.
We have nets, some short nets.
Well, we're big boys. Like, I'm 6'1" and like 360 pounds. I'm a big boy. Whoa,
Yeah,
hey,
we
easy.
know we have some
easy top.
I know we have some weight to move, but we need to get off the whole weight situation.
Weight is weight. It is what it is.
But yep. We gotta go check on the chickens.
Yeah. We're checking on chickens, and then we're gonna come back, and with whatever we find out from here, we'll add into our little podcast thing. A lot of people are starting to do the video aspect of it, which I figured a lot of people would. We're going to, we're not going to be on all platforms though. It's strictly going to be YouTube only.
Yep.
So that may end up being a downfall. Who knows? If the podcast grows, then we might see about adding it to other platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And we will end up getting to a point where we got the mics and all that, and the cool backdrop. The podcast is a very, very much so a work in progress.
Yeah.
I've just got a few things going on that before we get to that point.
Yep.
So we just do what we do to try and keep it fun and
Yeah.
hopefully entertaining at some point.
Try to.
You took a very roundabout way to go to your mom's.
I know.
Like, you went further south than what you needed to. Now you're backtracking.
I know. I didn't want to go through Fairbank. Now I will go through Fairbank on my way back.
That makes absolutely no sense. Whoa. Hey, we're here. Whoa! I'm going to lose this at some point.
Well, you're going to get out of the truck.
I got to get out in the heat. God damn you. I'm going to... Every time. Every time. But... Oh... Let me know who's on, and we'll answer questions, comments, concerns. What more you want to see from him? We got chickens.
Got my in there with 2 chicks. So show them the chickens.
Well, we got chicken. We got chickens. See, there's the mama chicken. There's chickies. Where's Mr. Rooster?
Rooster's in there. Over in here.
Oh, there we go.
There's a rooster with no tail feathers.
Yep, we see him.
Watch out.
What?
I gotta get over here to feed.
Oh, whatever. I'm just always in your way.
There you go.
So, Mason went fishing, didn't catch anything.
No, I caught a largemouth bass. It was just that big, and he swallowed the hook.
And then he also complained that he's had mosquitoes big enough that we could ride.
Pretty much.
Are you afraid of the rooster?
What?
Are you afraid of the rooster?
No, I just don't want him coming out. I'll get in there. I gotta check for eggs too.
So what are you doing? Just switching water?
Yeah. Getting fresh water.
Looks like it might need to be cleaned.
Pretty much, but I don't know where a brush is at.
Doing the chores. That's all we're doing. Well, yeah, not me. Anything else you want to say?
I don't know. Anybody that wants to say anything?
No, not really. We're only up 3. We got 3 likes.
This ain't nothing about fishing, but please, if anybody does want to see talk about fishing or anything, please say.
Whoa.
Comment, whatever you want to do. Ask.
Ask and you shall receive.
I gotta do a video sometime today to see how I would make an electric shad with the only stuff I have
He is loud.
for
The
making baits.
Whoa.
The color electric shad. So
I am sorry for all the horrible cameras crap going on. I don't have very good grip in my hands, so my bad.
oh, I gotta clean.
My bad, guys.
Rooster. That's enough.
Is that his name? Just Rooster?
No, Mom calls him Sir Crows a lot.
Sir Crow's a lot.
I call him Drumstick.
Drumstick.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe some point you'll find out if his drumsticks are tasty.
Yes and no. I don't know.
Why yes and no?
Are you having a feed?
He's just checking on the feed. Mr. Sir Crow's a lot is kinda loud.
Yeah, you got 3 hens in their roosting box. Probably laying eggs. I'll check for eggs later.
But like you said, this isn't right now. This isn't just this normal fishing deal. We're actually wanting to get ideas on for one of the podcasts we're gonna do. If there's something specific you guys would like to see us talk about.
No, I want the door open.
A Gomer. And so, like he said, he's adding hunting to it. He's got his he got his eyesight fixed. I don't know if you guys had known about that. I have given him a bow, some arrows, everything. That way he can continue to come deer hunting. And at some point we will actually walk through his hunting setup and why he's gonna use the stuff that he uses.
All right, come on.
He says we gotta go, so we're jumping back in the vehicle. See, I do have a neck. I'm a big guy.
Huh?
I do have a neck. I'm just a big guy.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because now it got me a little worried.
Well, quit focusing on your big neck. It is what it is.
Just like weight is what it is.
Yeah, you don't have to keep telling everybody that. You just accept it.
I don't know.
Yes.
I think it's going to rain.
It is going to rain. And that's the reason why I was like, yeah, I should go fishing today. And then I saw it was going to rain, and I'm like, nah.
Should go tomorrow morning.
I was going to try out my secret crappie hole, but I don't think the crappies are there.
I think they will be with this heat.
Not where I caught them last year. You throw a fit.
I threw a fit.
Yeah, you threw a fit because I didn't call you up and tell you. I was like, well, I didn't know they were there until I caught them.
Now you have me confused. What the hell spot are we talking
The
about?
one in Fairbank.
You're a bastard.
Yeah. See, I killed a mosquito that had a saddle on it.
Whatever.
Yeah. And it's like, I didn't know that the crappies were there until I freaking caught them.
I knew they were up in that area.
Well, I didn't know, and I highly doubt that they're there. So,
Oh, I bet you they are. I bet you they are.
Then we can try out.
Not this week. Not we. I got housework to do later.
Then we can try out these new bat jigs that I'm. Yeah. Short shanked
Ooh.
hook.
Ooh.
You do its wacky rig hooks.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anybody on?
Two
Two?
are watching.
Well, they need to start asking some questions.
So demanding.
Yes.
Wing it.
So, but yes, if you guys do not know, I make my own jigs.
I'm pretty sure
make
they
my
do.
own soft baits. Well, they might not be subscribed to the channel and connecting. Why?
It does that all the time, and that's when we're losing people. See, oh, now we're.
So, and if I can get any money, I might invest it in fishing rods. So
This reconnecting thing is
who's
for
that?
the birds.
I think I recognize that one.
Hey, what you all after today? Fishy things.
Oh, fishy things. Fishy things. What is up? We need to do give him a wrench.
I don't know how to do that.
You click on his name.
He says hi to.
Put user no. As add a moderator.
Standard.
Yep. There we go. We're not after anything right now. Fishy things. Just I completely forgot to do chicken chores for my mom. So he came over to do a podcast for his channel. Gonna do a couple podcasts and then we're heading back. But right now we were just talking about the bat jig that I made up. So you can view that video on my channel there, Fishy Things. But other than that, That's all we know. So we were gonna go fish, but we're gonna be getting rained out here pretty soon here in Iowa. So
He says very nice.
yep. And so if you're over by the Dells or southern in Wisconsin, things later on this afternoon or this evening, you might get rained out too. So
He says bummer.
yep.
It is a bummer, but I mean we're talking high humidity. Not fun times to try and go out.
No, the frickin' mosquitoes have here. So if you're not doused or dumped yourself into some DEET and have a thermocell on you, you're not gonna have fun times out there. Especially where Colin and I fish.
Yeah.
There's skeeters everywhere.
I mean, you breathe and you're going to be eating skeeters.
Yep. You'll get a good protein source.
I wonder how much protein is in a skeeter.
I don't know. Look it up.
We might have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's some good omegas in there. What do you say?
Yeah, them skeeters will try and carry you away. Yes. Mason is just thankful that we do not hang deer stands now at Graceland the month of August.
Oh yeah, we've done that before, and we're not going to do that again. So, but fishy things, we're going to be adding hunting onto my channel come this fall. So we're going to pivot towards that during come fall, since I am able to shoot now. I have better eyesight after getting this very expensive contact that I got. So we're going to be adding hunting onto this channel. His is just going to be podcast. So
Hit and miss things too from like pictures from the trail camera that I run on the other property.
yep. So we'll get it. We're gonna get it, and we're gonna keep grinding. So I still have yet to hit the 500 subscriber mark. Getting there slowly, but getting there.
He asked or said, "Awesome. Any specific kind of hunting or a bit of everything? Mainly whitetails.
Yep.
In the springtime, it'll probably do a transition of turkey hunting / fishing, and then the summer will be a lot of fishing and probably a little bit of archery in it, and kind of do that round robin sort of thing. Mason is mainly whitetail and turkey hunter. Me, on the other hand, I'm the adventurous one. I'm trying to figure out a way to go to Nebraska and chase mule deer next year if things can pan out and I can catch a break. But I'm the more adventurous one. I've been out west a few times hunting and different things.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone elk hunting, I've gone antelope hunting, I've gone mule deer hunting. I've hunted Colorado, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa. Where else have I hunted? I've been on hunting trips with my dad in Canada. He did a black bear hunt, ended up getting one.
Yeah, I'm not much of the adventurous one. If I'm going out of state, I'm going on vacation with the family.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
I went to hunt boar with a skier. You have bigger balls than most of us combined. Get me within 20 yards and I'll just shoot them with my regular bow, or I'll pop them with a gun, because them SOBs can be mean.
Yeah, but he's probably thinking one of those. You stand up there in a tree stand, you throw the spear down, straight down on top of him.
That's still too close for comfort. I will admit there are women that have bigger balls than I do that go after them with only a knife. But hey, whatever floats a person's boat you're outdoors doing something, I'm all for it.
Hmm. See, I would go to Florida and shoot iguanas with an air rifle.
Absolutely not.
Yep.
I don't see fun in that.
So I'd even go and look for pythons.
No.
Yep.
I'll stick to regular hunting big game animals.
So
I have a bucket list, but my bucket list keeps shrinking.
my bucket list is my one thing for fishing that I want to do is go catch peacock bass in Florida.
I just want to go up north and catch a bunch of walleye.
I can do that too. I'm horrible at walleye fishing. Absolutely horrible.
But when it comes to hunting, like I want to go on an elk hunt. I would like to go on a bison hunt. I've been trying for years to do a bison hunt. I want to do a moose hunt, a bear hunt, and at one point in time, I actually wanted to try and complete the North American big game Grand Slam of picking all 29 species, but that has dwindled down drastically. He said peacock bass would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I don't get into fishing like that, and I could care less.
Yeah, well, that's because you're the hunter and I'm the fisherman.
I mean, I like fishing, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing fishing. It's just a bass is a bass. You know, a turd's a turd. It doesn't matter if you polish it or not. It's still a turd.
Yeah, well.
That's just the way I look at fishing. I'm sorry.
If you can eat it, then it's better.
I heard people eat them damn things.
But no, it's one of those deals. Like yesterday, I caught the largemouth bass, and I'm like, oh, I caught a green turd. You know.
He says, in Wisconsin, they stock walleye everywhere. It's actually annoying when you're trying to catch catfish and those dang walleyes peck at your bait all the time. You know, I heard people have, I know in Iowa they do a lot of stocking for walleye.
Walleye is king here in Iowa. It's one of those deals where they pretty much, it's like a dick measuring contest in Iowa with catching walleye. It's freaking ridiculous here. And oh man, do they throw a fit here in Iowa if you catch a trophy sized walleye and you keep it. And there is so many bad mouths, I mean, hate speech, just hate comments on those pictures for people catching those walleye and keeping them. It's ridiculous.
See, I would be the other way around. I would try and, I don't like catfish. I would much rather, give me a walleye any day of the week.
Yeah. So, it's...
Ooh, train track.
It's ridiculous. And I don't know, we might have to go to Wisconsin and try and catch some walleye.
I'm all for it. I just want to go up north somewhere and do, have it be geared towards like mainly walleye.
Yeah.
Walleye, perch, all them good eating
Walleye,
SOBs.
perch, go up to Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Not Canada, because you can't bring very many damn things back, so it's kind of pointless to catch a bunch of walleye in Canada.
Minnesota, South Dakota.
South Dakota would be fun.
Yeah. So.
He says walleye is better eating, but absolutely no fight in them.
That is true.
Every walleye I've caught has put up a hell of a fight.
No, they don't put up much of a fight. Catfish, yes, they put up a hell of a fight.
I will not argue that, but I have caught walleye that have put up bigger fights than catfish.
You must have been using a light rod.
Possibly.
You're probably using my dock runner rod.
Oh, no. No. You've seen my fishing rig.
I don't want to block you off, do I?
Not really. He says walleyes are just head shakers.
Yeah.
You ain't caught a decent cat then, and my friend. That is probably true. That I will not argue that point.
Fishy things, he likes his catfish.
Hey, I'm not really wanting to diss on the catfish. It's just they're annoying.
He should come over to Iowa and fish those the rivers that connected to the Mississippi and try and catch those flatheads. Like on the Iowa River.
A 50-pound flathead will try and pull you out of the boat. That is very true.
Yep.
My dad caught, I would have to say, I know it wasn't a 50-pounder, but the damn thing, he caught it on a spinnerbait because we were actually walleye fishing. And it was just one of them $2 big-ass spinnerbaits from Walmart he was using. And when he hooked into it, the damn thing literally bent the hook straight on it. I've never seen my dad get excited fishing-wise, and he was excited, to say the least.
Yep. All right. We're going to head down and do his podcast. But yes, fishy things. We need to go. You need to come over here to Iowa and, the outlet for the Red Rock. Or just underneath the Red Rock Dam. There's been people catching hell of flatheads down below the dam there and Red Rock. But yeah, it's one of those deals. But I like northern too. I like catching northern. So northern pike is another one I want to catch. I want to catch a muskie.
Muskie would be fun. You know, we're only 40 minutes drive from one of the best muskie lakes in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have the rigs for muskie.
Why don't you just use a regular rod and the reel? Make it interesting.
Oh.
Can I show you the new toy?
New toy?
Live?
Yep. Colin's got a new toy.
I only did it because of my hands. I've got hand issues.
Yep. He's losing all feeling in his hands. He can't grip nothing. Can't do any of that fun stuff anymore. It just sucks getting old. Ooh, look at that. Fancy, fancy. Fancy, fancy. It is nice and light.
Matthews lift.
Yep, Matthews lift.
It's the... I don't know if it's the original lift or the Lift X. I'm pretty sure it's just the lift.
He says you got to put a lot of work into catch a muskie. Oh yeah, we know.
The fish of 1,000 casts or more.
One of those deals. So.
Yes, I had to upgrade from what I was to be able to continue with archery hunting.
Yep, he had to upgrade. One of those deals. Clearing off a spot for his phone, guys. It's probably start targeting muskie again this fall. 10,000 cast. Yep, exactly. I know where I get my stuff to make baits. We have a 6-inch ripper, like paddle tail, something like this. That's pretty much only thing that we have for muskie.
I am gonna
At that place.
grab my chair out of the car.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I'm not sitting on one of your crappy chairs.
All right, you got your little tripod thing?
It is in my front.
Okay.
thing. Here, I'll even leave this.
Okay, set it there.
Here for
He,
now.
he said, I lost 3 muskie this spring. Freaking heartbreakers. Ouch. Yes. Here in Iowa, we don't have muskie in the rivers at all. If we do, they're further up north. And we would have to get on the lakes around here to go catch muskie. There's one here about 40 minutes west of here, Brushy Creek Lake. They have muskie in there. The best muskie lake that we have closest to us is 50 minutes north of us. And then there's the Iowa Great Lakes, which is, I don't know how far that is, but that's in western Iowa. They have quite a bit of muskie out there. But Okoboji, Clear Lake, Brushy Creek, Red Rock, and Rathbun, Saylorville, they have pretty much really good walleye and northern there. So that's that. But yeah, so I wanna try and get into making muskie baits, but that's pretty expensive. So, but when you're doing bait making and if you're trying to sell baits, you pretty much almost have to how would you say, niche down on what you're trying to sell. So come on over here. We're gonna do it behind where the Do It Mold stuff is behind us. So, oh, but yes, making muskie baits would be quite an expensive ordeal, and just all around muskie lures are expensive. But I heard you can use quite a bit of good walleye, not walleye, live bait for muskie too. Get some suckers. Use suckers as bait. But fishy things. What type of bait you use for catfish? But yeah, all my Do It Mold stuff behind me. For channel cats, I like cut bait best. Yep. Bluegill, or you just go and buy your cut bait. For flatheads, I like live bluegill best. Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move. You said you wanted to move chairs around?
No, we'll just move in here. Get your tripod out.
Oh, Jesus. Look at the Indian.
Yes. And I don't even know where I left my Dr. Pepper at. Oh, it's over there.
You'd be lost without me.
Yep. Yeah, I'll catch a bunch of bluegill and freeze them for cut bait. Oh, sweet. Sweet.
You know, might help if I put this on, right?
Should we leave this up and running? That way we get some time and views for the podcast.
I don't know.
Just let everybody know on your podcast that we have.
Do one that way. I don't care.
All right. You gotta tip it sideways, bud.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I gotta get out of a lot of shit.
This guy.
Don't even. Don't even.
This guy in technology.
Shut it.
Hey, did you see I have a big mouth Billy Bass behind us now?
Yes. Rotate.
Oh, there we go.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Why don't you like it?
I don't know. There, that's better, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll work. I did see your Billy Bass. Yep.
Just wait until we get the mounts and the actual podcast room going.
Yeah.
I will do this. Get this all set up here. Ooh, there we go. Now we.
Let's hear him sing. I don't have him hooked up, bud. Sorry. I have yet to go get battery for it.
You need to move this because I'm going to drop this down just a little bit, get us a little more.
And the problem is have yet to get the batteries. He was at my
How do I?
my mom's husband's place, and I was like, I'm stealing this. So she let me have it. She was like, I'm pretty sure he'll not miss it one bit. He was still in the package and everything, but he is missing an eye. So I got to get a measurement of his eye and order some bass eyes. So
There, is that a little better?
I'll lift it up.
You need to get Slick back over. See, I think we need to go.
And back up.
Yeah, back it up a little bit. See, I kind of like this. Do you?
Yeah. Why is yours so weird?
With what?
Your pixel is weird.
That's a different phone. Just,
Hold on.
I need Spitty and my go-go juice, please. Let's get rid of this. That's
No, I gotta
not
set
my
mine
go-go
up.
juice.
I gotta set my phone up.
Well, that's not my go-go juice. My go-go juice is to the right of you. And Spitty. Go-go juice. Spitty.
No,
Thank you.
I gotta set my phone up.
So you tell me when to hit record.
So, but
Oh, shit. There you go. See? You need what I need now.
mine's out in my truck. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I touched it. My bad. My bad. No, damn it. There.
Jesus.
See, we're losing people every time I touch something. You did it. I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. Okay, we're recording.
All right. All right. Well, this ain't working. Just go ahead and do it. I'm trying to.
Well, you know we don't really do no intro or anything. We just kind of dive into everything.
Yeah. Well, right now we're fighting with some stuff. So I'm live on.
Mason's live on his
Y-
YouTube channel right
yeah.
now. We're gonna do a little question answer. He's been live for a little while.
Yeah, we're gonna
what
keep
is
this
it that
running.
they can- Oh, and you mess with mine in the process.
Sorry.
Where can they find you, Mason?
You can find me on YouTube, Wapsie River Rat Fishing, and we got a little bit of announcement. We're going to be adding his hunting videos onto my channel this fall.
He's also hunting too.
Yep. So, I will be hunting too this coming fall, and we're waiting on my bow to get back. Colin got a new toy. Where is your new toy?
I put it back.
Well, you got to show your new toy to everyone.
Well, grab it then.
Oh.
It's to help me out. And no, I did not spend a buttload of money on this.
Yep. So, it's a new Matthews lift.
Hold it up here.
For everyone. And
It's the 29 and a half.
so pretty much the reasoning is because Mr. Colin here is having hand issues, gripping issues. So he needs...
I'm losing feelings in my hands and my grip. I mean, this is all I can do to bring my fingers together on my right hand, and it's the same
Yep.
way on my left hand. It's bad.
Yeah, so he can't grip anything. But yeah, so Mr. Colin went and got a new bow, got rid of his others. I'm waiting on my bow. And yeah. So so the name will change a little bit for my channel.
I would just keep it as I would just simplify it down to Wapsie River Rat Adventures.
Adventures. Give me mine.
Here's your Spitty.
And so, yeah.
Cause adventures, I mean, it's an adventure when you do your fishing. It's an adventure. It's always an adventure when we do our hunting.
Oh, yeah. Quite a bit. And also, there's going to be other adventures, too, involved. Anything really to do with outdoors. And that. Somebody commented on mine. Tell Colin to leave a comment somewhere on my channel so I can sub him. There you go.
I don't know how to... Mason will have to be the one to help me do all that. I really am not a tech-savvy person. If I can't just record and upload, even then I still mess up a little bit.
Yeah.
I am so old school and new to this, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, so
a lot of this is to help him.
Yep.
Because he wants to be able to get monetized and do everything. And he knows that I do a lot of adventures, and when we're together hunting, it isn't the things we talk about and stuff. We know that a lot of I hate saying that we're average, but we're not the influencers or anything like that. You know, we're not what you would see on TV. We want to gear towards and get it more realistic of what most of everybody goes through.
Yeah, and also,
there's a lot more. Now, granted, there's a lot of the bigger guys out there, you know, that have been in the industry 20 plus years.
Yeah, they have people hired to do that stuff for them.
But they're starting to gear more towards where we are at, or what we're wanting to do, because they understand and reaching a new. I don't want to
audience
say platform, but audience. There you go.
Audience. Yeah, they're wanting to reach a different audience because they're starting to see a lot of these other people come out and they're saying, we can't farm deer, we can't raise deer, we don't have how many hundreds of thousands of acres of land to just go and turn an old cornfield into a food plot, you know, and
no, we can't.
No. And so they're starting to see more of that, so they're like, oh, I think we went a little bit too far on, say, like the outdoor channel, to where we're raising these 180 to 200 and some plus inch deer.
I would agree to that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the issue is
well, it's just like sponsorships. You know, we saw that with the sponsorships. Everybody was getting pallets and pallets of these tree stands, and they're getting free.
That's not so much. I actually spent time last night watching cuts and everything else. I think the biggest thing going against hunting right now are these so-called social media influencers and sitting there saying, well, what do you think on this? This is my take on it. And all honesty, I think it's really, really bad.
Well, yeah.
Because
Well, that's
because
pretty much what I was getting.
it's the people in our age bracket that grew up watching the old guys in the industry right now. Now they're not really old. I mean, they've been in the industry 20 plus years, you know.
Well, yeah.
And what I watched one where a lot of people don't realize is if you're in the industry, they're all good friends. Like Lee and Tiffany are good friends with Waddell. Waddell's good friends with Drury's. They just have different sponsorships, but they're all geared towards a common cause, and they have written rules and contracts and this and that. And
well, that's just
else.
because.
And I think, just partaking. This is just my thought on the whole ordeal is when they're getting these sponsorships, it's not allowing them to do what they want because I'll use this as it's only an example. Let's say that Hoyt is saying, hey, I want you to use this bow. We're going to go kill. Need to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And to help boost sales on everything because of what it is. I think bow manufacturers need to start gearing towards. I could care less if somebody used Matthews bow and shot. Yeah, it's really squeaky. And used a Matthews bow and shot 3 200-inch deer. That's not going to sell me on a bow. What's going to sell me on a bow is price, draw cycle, and how it feels in my hands.
Yeah. Well, the problem is these companies and these manufacturers that are trying to make sales. They're trying to and reinvent the wheel.
Shit. Nobody freaking likes you. Nobody freaking likes you. Okay, Chip, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't care.
If we're not forcing you to jump in on this. I mean, it's a free country. You're allowed to what you say. So apparently we're doing something right if you're sitting there jumping on and watching, though. So apparently we're doing something.
Yeah, but like the manufacturers, they're trying to almost like reinvent the wheel. Like our product is better than this product, and da 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 da. When it's like it's the same thing.
To a degree, yes. Now, see, the biggest thing that I have is people sitting there saying, Ted Nugent said it best one time is, the video's gone viral a couple of different times where he's standing in a hunting lodge and sitting there saying, if somebody wants to shoot a spike, nobody has a right to sit there and tell them, no, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
It's that person's tag. They can go out and shoot whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody that, I got this deer on a property. You're not allowed to shoot it. I am totally opposite of that. I'm not going to sit there and oh, hey, there's this really cool looking 6-point. Don't shoot him. I'm not going to do that.
No.
I'm not going to tell somebody what they can and cannot do with their deer tag that they went and spent money on. And I think that, and a lot of people, and Waddell's even...
Thank you, Matthew Adventures.
Waddell has even touched on this, is he went to the point of saying, what's the point of having a great trophy room and being able to look at the memories and it's not with your buddies and stuff, Now, if all your buddies are in there and you're all on the same page and everything else, yeah, I'm okay with it. You guys are all on the same page. You all want to shoot. You got your lease and you got your rules and everything. Mm-hmm. But there again, when I did have a lease back in the day, and the only rule that was stipulated actually in the written agreement was make sure to have fun and don't be bossy. That was it.
Now with
And that property actually butts up to Graceland, and believe it or not, Graceland has produced multiple big bucks, and we don't manage it for big bucks. We shoot what gets our heart, our adrenaline going, because that's what makes the memory of it. It's that excitement, that rush that you're always going to remember what had happened. I mean, you and I had a really great shotgun morning. We didn't even see. Well, we saw a bunch of deer. We didn't have an opportunity at any of the big bucks, but I shot 2 does. You shot a doe, and that was.
Yep.
I mean, that was one of my best hunts, and it ended up being just a doe patrol.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those deals where a little itty bitty fawn that year. What was it? Was it that? No, it was that year's fawn.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Yeah. Well,
The one doe I shot just dwarfed every other doe we shot.
Yeah. Well, this one, I waited and waited and waited, just waited for her to pretty much get on top of me.
Lick the ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, literally almost licked the ladder.
Yep. And I popped her. I mean, literally, it was to the point where once I shot, I saw a big black hole inside of her, and then she took off.
That damn. Yep.
My bird clock went off. So if you hear bird, that's what happened. But she ran off like 20, 30 yards and then tipped over.
Yeah, and the one doe I popped at because in Iowa you can use straight wall guns. I ended up popping a doe at, like, what was it, 150, 180 yards.
Thanks, Fishy. Thanks.
And she toted that 450 round like a champ. I thought I missed. And, that was, we walked to where she was standing, and then we looked up, and, oh, there she was, 10 yards from where I had shot her, laying there dead. And I ended up popping another doe in the process. I had the tag. We were legal on it. And both deer I shot with a 450. I shot one that was like 150, 160 yards, and another one I shot at 10 yards. And both deer toted that 450 round pretty damn well.
Yeah.
But they were both decent sized deer. I mean, yours toted a 20 gauge slug at frickin' 20 feet. I mean, the deer ran further than what the shot was.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
We got to get it back into. I think we need to do the deal of circle back and come back to the memories, the excitement, and everything. Now, if it's only chasing big deer, I'm all for it. The only gripe I have is, do not sit there and tell somebody they cannot do. You can't shoot this deer. Don't do that. If you have a lease and you're bringing somebody on, then don't put them in an area that you're trying to manage. Let them go off and be able to hunt the way they want to hunt.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. If it's only a group of 3 guys and you're, shotgun hunting or you're bow hunting, whatever the question may be, and you got a bunch of deer, it's not going to hurt your population to sit there and somebody pops 115-inch 8-point. That ain't going to hurt your damn deal. Yeah, it's going to take away a buck out of your area. How many other bucks in that area are still going to be able to continue and grow? You're talking about one deer, and it's going to make or break. It doesn't.
No.
And we need to get off that damn gravy train of, I wouldn't say it's a gravy train. That's bad terminology on that. It's we just need to we need to cut it out. We really do.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole deal with fishing is
Oh, the comments that we've seen with walleye fishing.
yeah, walleye fishing,
It's
and
not.
bass fishing. It's one of those deals where if somebody wants to keep a 16-inch smallmouth bass or a 16-inch largemouth bass, and they're like, "Oh, you let them go and let them grow." I'm sorry, but there's plenty of bass there in the rivers. How many times do we have problems with trying to keep bass off our line when we're trying to target crappie, bluegill, walleye?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
We can't keep them off the line.
No.
They get annoying. And
You know, and when they're talking, oh, you should have threw back that 32-inch walleye, let it grow, let it spawn. No.
yeah, 28-inch. If the person wants to keep it,
Or
let them
eat
freaking
it.
keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, eat it.
If they're
whatever.
not breaking a single rule, game law,
Yeah.
who gives a rat's ass? Honestly, who gives a rat's ass?
I mean, you got these.
It ain't affecting you in any way.
Well, and that's the thing. We get these kids on there on the forum or on the Facebook page, and they're asking questions, and you get these people on there that say, well, why don't you go out there and try? Maybe he literally doesn't know. He doesn't have the parents or the grandparents or the aunt and uncles to direct him in the right direction. And he literally wants to know, wants an answer. And
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. No.
Anybody can come to me right now, and I will point you in the I won't only point you in the direction. I'll use this as an example. I have.
Okay. Well, okay, so fishy things. Sorry, guys, on the podcast. But, okay, so.
We're doing a live, too.
Yeah, we're doing a live also. So, one person here said he believes in letting trophy fish go to have babies. Okay. Yes.
How many more trophy fish are in that river?
Yeah,
though?
but, well, that's true. But, like, he's in Wisconsin. His rivers are totally different than ours.
That is true.
Okay,
No
here in
argument.
Iowa, say for walleye. Here in Iowa, we have such a low percentage of success rate in natural spawn on walleyes that our fisheries literally have to go out and stock those rivers and lakes back up. That's just because of our heavy flooding, our muddy waters, spawning grounds, getting covered up by silt. I mean, the walleye need to have that gravel bed. Now, for bluegill, bass, blah, 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 that's totally different. They can go out and naturally spawn in the natural spawn, but walleye, they struggle so bad for natural spawn that they need to have that, fisheries, the DNR, to actually help them out in order to have future walleye in our rivers.
I mean, Iowa does have specific parts around.
Yeah.
One of them is up at Iowa's Great Lakes, where that's all they're paid to do is
Nurse the
walleyes.
Yeah, nurse fry, and that's all they're specifically do. Rathman does the same exact thing. Clear Lake does the exact same thing.
Those are the three main ones in the state.
Manchester's nursery, they just mainly do trout. Decorah just does trout.
Yep.
But it's hard to explain. It's not really hard to explain, but it is, unless you actually understand the science of it. Now, you go and catch a spawning 28 to 32 inch female, and literally you can pretty much guarantee her eggs aren't going to hatch. That's how such small percentage it is for success rate. So, other fish, except for muskie, Muskie is a different story. They're almost the same way as walleye, but largemouth, any other fish, they can go and naturally spawn in Iowa's rivers and bodies of water, and they'll be totally fine. They'll be just totally fine.
Oh,
So
no argument. We're reading.
yeah.
What the one
Oh
you said.
yeah. Okay. But I don't try and tell anyone what they should do unless they ask me. I try and get the small and put them in my body pond to, oh, 4 different bloodline in the pond. Well, yeah,
That's
yeah,
totally
Yeah.
agree with it.
yeah, totally agree with it. Yeah, so it's just so difficult in Iowa's waters. I don't know what Wisconsin's is like. I don't know what Minnesota's is like. You know, I'm just talking from our state.
Yeah.
But it's just absolutely horrendous. I mean, I mean, literally, like any other state, we have kids that don't have parents that don't take them out, and then they see all this hate, bash, everything online, because where else are they going to get the answers for it? Is pretty much online. And they see all this hate and everything else, and they're going to lose interest. So, well, if this is what our pastime is like, then they're going to be like, well, might as well just get back out on the street and do street things.
Or bury
Yeah.
their face into an iPhone or whatever and
Yeah.
play a game.
Yeah. So,
And that's, like I was getting at earlier, is we need to, like, when it comes to public ground, secret spots, whatever, okay, I get all that.
mhm.
I am not that person. You can come up to me on the street, and Mason has seen me do it numerous times, and we've circled back to that person at the end of the hunt, and they're nothing but
No.
grinning ear to ear because they had a very successful hunt and everything else. I will literally tell somebody where I hunted on public ground and where I've had the best success. Now, the reason I do that is I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything like that. I have the ability, I feel that I can go anywhere on public ground and be successful because I know how to read terrain, I know how white-tailed deer act, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I trust in my hunting skills and ability that I can go anywhere and be successful. And I've been pretty successful in Nebraska. I've been pretty successful in Colorado. I've been successful South Dakota. Anytime I've gone on public ground, I carry what I know here to my other trips, and I have been successful.
Mhm.
But there's just so many people now fishing. I get it; it's a different story, whatever it may be.
It's not really a different story. It's almost the exact
But
same thing.
But I will sit there and I'm not afraid to tell somebody, hey, this is where I was, but it's on you, if my stand is there on public ground in Iowa, if you beat me to my stand, you have rights to my stand and I cannot say anything. So, but I will sit there and because I know the areas of public ground so well, I'm not afraid to give out my spot and let somebody go out there because I know that, I can go somewhere else and have fun.
Mhm.
Now, would I be a little Debbie Downer about it? At times, depending on my mood, but I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody, hey, you can't go out there. I'm not going to give anybody a hard time
It's
on
the
it.
same thing with fishing spots too. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you get people out there, hey, you're fishing in my spot. I've been here for da 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 da, and I've been here for so long, and you're fishing my spot, gonna fish my area out, and crap like that. It's like, well, sorry, this is public waters. I can fish here too.
Exactly.
And it's one of those deals, and I'll tell anybody, if you come to me, I'm not going to go and throw my spots out online, but
Oh, I'll throw my hunting spots out online quicker than crap.
But just because people will rush to that. Now, I have done, reconnaissance and seen where people are fishing, and then I go out on aerial views and be like, oh, it's right here because it had that landmark, that bridge, that dam. Oh, it's right here. I've done stuff like that, but now if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, where would be a good spot to go and try?" Well, go fish underneath the say McGregor Bridge,
Yep.
or go fish that one stream that goes right out to the Mississippi, literally right across that casino boat.
Yeah, it used to be the Miss Marquette, but I don't know what it is anymore. But yeah.
Stuff like that. Not McGregor Bridge, Marquette Bridge.
Yeah. Marquette, McGregor,
Same thing.
Yep.
It's a big blue bridge that crosses the Mississippi.
What fishy things say?
Wisconsin is blessed with so much fresh water. Two of the largest lakes on Earth, the largest river in North America, then a bounty of 1,000 other lakes. So it's definitely different. Oh, well, exactly. I mean,
Yep.
Wisconsin is totally, yeah, I kind of wish I lived there.
I don't. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I mean,
my family is actually from Wisconsin. They moved to Iowa. That was just because of farming reasons.
yeah.
So, so it's one of those deals now. We need more people in the fishing. We need more people in the hunting.
And the main way that we're going to get them into it is introduce them, keep it fun, keep it interesting, and not be a prick.
Yeah.
That it boils down to those four things.
Yeah.
It really does. Otherwise, we're going to lead into a whole can of worms that us that enjoy the great outdoors, we are going to start losing it. And that's where the whole land grabbing deal, losing public shit, we're going to end up losing rights because we are fighting amongst ourselves because of other social media influencers sitting there saying and bashing, oh, you don't shoot 100 and why'd you shoot 150? It can grow, yada yada yada. That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. Yeah, I need to quit rocking because it squeaks.
Yeah, it's going to end up being on video. It's going to be annoying.
I am so sorry.
But yeah, they and not only that, but we have politicians that honestly do not hunt, and they don't understand the lifestyle, the meaning of it. I mean,
that's why I'm glad that I'm glad this came about on social media where everybody partnered together and we're saying not 1 acre for sale. There were so many people on board with that, and we were grouped together, and it helped change that part of the bill that just got passed because we bonded together. Now imagine if we did that on everything when it comes to hunting and fishing. The voice that we truly do have. Why can't we continue it? Why do we have to sit there and bash somebody for shooting what type of bow they have, what type of hunting clothing they're wearing, what type of deer, how they hunt, where they hunt? Why do we do that crap? It's asinine in my opinion. Absolutely. I mean, now don't get me wrong. We'll joke amongst ourselves on with everything. We got a good friend of ours that will not shoot a Matthews. He is a die-hard Hoyt guy, and he gives us crap. And it's one thing to give crap within your circle, but to sit there and do it to somebody else
that you have no idea who they are.
Right. It's bad. It's bad news bears all around. Let's group together.
Yep.
And imagine the voice that we can have as one. If we can sit there make
Exactly.
that deal when it comes to Congress. Imagine what we can do when we're grouped together and we do more of that stuff and we show that camaraderie and celebration of the harvest. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing, in all honesty.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too is we about lost 1% of our public lands almost. It was a win for the conservationists.
Because we grouped together
Yep.
and agreed on one thing. Why can't we agree on
Yep.
just about everything else when it comes to who harvests what, how they did it, why they
Yep.
did it? Why can't we just, oh, you shot a 180-inch deer over a bait pile. Was it legal in your state? Awesome!
Yep.
If you are using dogs, if it's legal, I'm all for it. Does that mean that I have to go out and do it?
Yep.
No.
Well, we can't really say much with fishing because fishing's fishing. I mean, there
Right.
isn't one of those deals of, well, except for one little issue came up
I'm gonna read these comments.
is, the forward-facing sonar is...
Matthew Adventures. Don't say anything disrespectful.
No, he blocked somebody that said something on there.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
blocked or whatever he did. But so the forward-facing sonar issue, it's so new and brand new that the Department of Natural Resources in every state don't really know what to do with it, and they're keeping a close eye on it. Now there's a lot of people that are saying, well, this is a picture of the fish that we caught back in the day, and we didn't use forward-facing sonar. Okay, yeah, great. But
If the technology's there, use it.
yeah, if the technology's there, use it.
I mean, if you can afford it,
Yeah,
do it.
If you see a fish and it's swimming around and you can see your bait drop down in front of that fish, you still got to get the fish to bite.
Oh yeah.
There's been a lot of people saying, "Oh, I've had fish on there that come up, look at the bait, and be like, and then swim off."
It's not a guarantee that you're gonna catch that fish.
But now they are coming up with a deal where they're starting to see a lot of people, like the walleye situation. They see a walleye 30 feet down in the lake, and they'll catch that fish, and all of a sudden, that pressure deal that they have with water, that swim bladder explodes or doesn't explode, comes out of their mouth.
Yeah.
They're having issues with that because people are seeing walleye 30 feet down, catching that fish, bringing it up to the top, then releasing it, and then there's a floating fish a day later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're having that type of issue. And
Okay. So my thing is though, why does it matter if they have the sonar or not?
well, they don't know how they're going to
you and I could end up doing that. Here's my thing on that whole ordeal, and this is just my opinion on it. Why does it matter? Because you and I could go out and do the exact same thing without the sonar, and we're not purposely doing it. We just know that, hey, this is a hole, this is how deep it is, and we're gonna, oh, you dropped the phone, and we end up doing it. So I don't see how you can regulate that. I honestly don't, because of any Joe Schmo can go out and do that without the equipment.
Yeah.
And now I can see the argument of, it puts an odd in your favor. I necessarily don't see it as putting an odd in your favor, except you knowing that it's there.
He just help me fall and we can't get up.
What he do?
He said, "Help, we fallen. I've fallen, we can't get up."
Yep, that sums up our lives.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, and I get that, but also saying, "Well, hey, that boat wasn't sparkly enough. Can't catch any fish. That type of stuff too." But that's just little things.
I get it. And I know. I mean, at some point, You know, the more that we keep bringing in technology to it, at some point we might need to group together as one. And I think it's going to need to be sooner than later with the way technology is
Oh,
advancing and
yeah.
everything. That we're going to have, us as hunters and fishermen, we're going to have to sit there and say, hey, enough's enough.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, the government, they're already trying to do it, step in and regulate everything.
Uh-huh.
We need to be able to regulate ourselves. And that's why we need to be careful on what we do and who we vote and everything else. We have to be careful because
Well, that was the whole...
in all honesty, it could go sour real quick. I can see that if we continue this deal,
If we didn't step up, we would have lost that 1% of public lands. And in that law, there wasn't a cap on if that was all there was going to be.
now don't get me wrong. I just want to get this out there. Okay. Yes, it's only 1%. Yes, there was no cap. But here's my thing. Okay. I know this is going to piss a lot of people off.
Now, this is his opinion, not mine.
He
His
already
opinion, not mine.
he already knows where I'm going with this. Okay. Now let's say that this public property is in near a suburban area. Okay. It might say public hunting, but the state's got rules and regs that, oh, you can't do this, you can't do hunt with this, yada yada yada. Okay. My thinking is okay, why not let it go anyways? Because one, there may not be a lot of people hunting it. Number two is, at some point, our population is growing. We will end up losing this battle. We're going to end up losing public ground. And I think we could see it in the very near future that we're going to lose parts of public ground that butt up to suburban areas, and we're going to lose it to either the housing development or we're going to lose it to for getting our natural resources, whether it be drilling, natural gas, yada yada yada, whatever. We're going to end up losing it. We are not going to win that war.
Well, we got to make sure that there's a cap on it then the next time it comes around.
That is very true.
And so,
But my thing is, and this is what I was explaining to you the other day when we were on the phone chit-chatting about it, is I don't have a problem with the ground being sold when it's like that. My problem is going to be, okay, here's 9,000 acres in the middle of frickin' bumfuck nowhere, and a bunch of people use it, and it's got nice campground, it's got a great fishing lake, yada yada yada.
nice trails.
Yeah, you go and sell that. That's over my dead body. The hell you're gonna ever touch that?
But here's the thing.
Because that's actually generating revenue for the state, and there's so many people that use it. That's where I'm gonna have the big issues on everything.
But here's the thing, though. Like, okay, and I was listening to another guy that was on a podcast, and he was one in a group that was saying, okay, he went into, so this senator's, okay, everybody knows who the senator is. Senator Mike Lee's office.
Yep.
Talked to everybody that was in that office, and he was trying to explain to them. They're like, okay, well, what about this chunk of BLM ground?
No.
He goes, no, just listen. He goes, this chunk of BLM ground here in Utah. And he goes, no, you can't sell that off. I know who leases that BLM ground for his ranch.
Yep.
He goes, you're going to ruin that family's livelihood.
Exactly. And I have a big issue on that. No. No touchy.
And he said
that is a no touchy
he said
situation.
almost 1% of that ground that they were trying to sell off was already used by someone or people. That's what he was saying.
And that's where I have the issue with it.
Yeah.
That's where I have the issue of doing that. Now,
landlocked ground, okay, that you can't get access to, which there's already a battle of corner hopping. There's a battle still continuing.
But we won it.
We want it, but
you
there's
can do it.
they're still battling that.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Because they got a certain letter in front of their name.
Yeah, and so that ground, I don't think we should sell off until we know what is going to happen with that corner hopping, because there's already access to that, because the courts ruled in favor of the corner hopping.
Right.
But if they flip that, then we need to see if we can get
But then
public access to that ground.
But then you go into the whole ordeal. It falls back into the deal in Utah is that rancher also leasing it and using it for his cattle?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it is, then you're going to ruin his livelihood.
Yep.
You want to? I say if it's not doing any of that, and it's not falling into that category, and it can't be used for hunting, fishing, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you literally cannot get to it. You know what? I say sell the son of a bitch, because I'm getting tired of spending the high dollars on gas and everything else. Let that son of a bitch go, because in all it's not serving a purpose. Now, if there's a written agreement that when that rancher dies and he's going to put it all into public ground and then it becomes something, by all means, no touchy. But if it's not, and that's where farmers need to get on board with us, and we need to, here again, we need to unite.
Yep.
And get into that to where more ranchers are going to want to, if they're a last deal and nobody wants to take over the ranch, they need to get in with the government and sit there and say, hey, when I am done doing this, I want my property go to the public for hunting and fishing and help it grow.
Fishy thing says it's all above his pay grade.
It very much is above everybody's pay grade. But we do have a voice in it, and we need to reason with it.
So like fishy things. He's in Wisconsin, right?
Yep.
Okay. He wasn't in on this whole selling off public lands. But he has state. I don't know if they have county. But he has state public grounds, and he has national forest.
Yeah.
Okay. So, say they take that national forest and there is an awesome river or an awesome lake or something in there that you have access to get into that national forest, through that national forest. They go off and sell that chunk off that has that river or that lake that you have that you love to fish. Now, the question is, do you speak up or you just shut up? I'd say speak up.
You speak up.
Yeah, say no.
Right. But see, here's the thing, though. Here in Iowa, there's a couple of national forests where they run...
We don't have any national forests.
Well, not... Okay, state. It's
state grounds.
That are actually being worked for logging.
Yeah.
And they're cutting down the trees and helping out with the paper demand and everything else. Yeah. I don't have an issue with that because I think our state did something right with it. Well, they turn around wherever they are doing their cutting and stuff. They are going back through a year later and replanting.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have an issue with that because one, it's helping the undergrowth. It's doing a lot of good. You know, if there's a way that they can do it when it comes to a bunch of other things, it's
poplars are shitty ass trees anyway. They need to get rid of that. They're horrible trees. They need to plant them into something different anyway. But well, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Exactly. Now, when I was in Colorado, there were on public ground, I saw so many different windmills, so many different, and you know, they got their one way in, one way out, and believe it or not, it never affects I noticed it didn't affect my hunting one bit. Not one bit. You know, animals are going to move and migrate no matter what. Okay?
But what
They're
they're saying is, say like the sage grouse, okay, they're not going to like those windmills. You keep encroaching onto their natural habitat. They're
well,
not
tell
going to
the
have.
sage grouse that because I saw a buttload of them around windmills out there.
But this is other development, okay?
I mean, like I said, you know, we weren't far from a town either, you know, where the public ground would butt up to. You know, it all depends.
People can't. They have the waterway law there. People can't own the water.
I mean, to a degree, I think that's the same way in Iowa. You don't own the water.
Yeah, you don't own the water, but the property lines go out to the middle of the river. You just can't.
Yeah, and
you can
see, I think
drop anchor and get up to the high water mark, but that's about as far as you can go.
Yeah, see, I have an issue when it comes to that. Anyways, that's here nor there. But like I said, it all comes back to where we united as one, and look what happened.
Yep.
Now imagine if we did that across the board.
Mm-hmm.
How many more people could we bring into the sport?
Oh, a shit ton.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why everything. That's why it needs to. The bashing and the hate and all that needs to stop. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
If you can't say something nice, shut up.
Scrolling.
Yep.
Oh, what'd he say?
Huh?
What'd he say?
If it's landlocked, you can't trespass to get there, but if you can get there by water, no one can stop you. Yeah. See?
Yep. Same way in Iowa.
Yep. Same way in Iowa.
But you got your Karens out there that think they do. Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. And I know each state is different, but maybe we should vote people in to our state to where they want to partner with the states around and start uniting as one.
But you know what really pissed me off about the Montana governor? He
What?
said, if you leave Montana out of it, I'll sign on that bill.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, yeah, okay, but he was going to sign on to sell the 1%.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I was
Okay.
like, what a bunch of fucking crap. You should have said.
Wait.
No.
Hold up. What if a bunch of states did that? Let's say Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, a bunch of these states. Let's say every state west of the Mississippi minus
They should
the
have
three
just said hell no.
minus the three that touch the Pacific Ocean. Let's say every state west of the Mississippi signed on, and except for the three across that touch the Pacific Ocean, signed on and said, we'll sign it if you leave it out of our deal. Would you still have an issue with it?
Yeah.
Why?
It's still my public ground over there in Washington, Oregon, California.
It's not going to affect you one bit.
I can go over there and still go hunt if I want. I can go over there and still fish if I want. It's my public ground.
Here's the thing, though. Look at it as a business point. Not a lot of people are going to go there then. Where's it going to generate revenue? Everybody's going to start going to the other states that went there and said, no. It's going to generate that much more. It's going to bring more people like you and me.
It's still my ground.
I'm. This is strictly business point. I'm not saying here nor there. I'm saying look at it as a business point. You're going to generate more people coming to your state now to hunt, to fish, and what are they going to do? They're going to spend their money on hotel rooms and food. It's going to boost the economies in those states. Ground. I could care less if they saw public ground in fucking Eastern Pennsylvania, New York, whatever. I could care less. There's nothing there.
That's fine. That's yours, but you're not going to put me on to your thought process because it's still my ground.
You don't pay a damn penny in the state for that.
I don't care. That's public ground. That's federal public ground I'm talking about. Not state,
Okay.
not county.
So you're saying that if, let's say all the states but 3 did it, every state signed on and said, you leave our state out of it, you're still saying
No,
You're-
it's
you're-
still my
you're-
ground.
you're still going to say no,
Yeah, still my ground.
even though you may never go to that state.
Don't care. You want to know why? My kids might go to that state. My grandkids might go to that state. My great grandkids might go to that state. Their kids might go to that state.
And you just brought it back again, full circle of unite as one then,
Yes.
and quit the bashing and the hatefulness, because otherwise, I can see it happening in our lifetime where public grounds are going to get sold.
That's fine, but I'm still going to
And-
battle it out saying not 1 acre, not now, not ever.
But at the same time, is when are we going to stop being greedy then? And everything, because our population is growing and cities are growing. What are we supposed to do?
They're going to have to figure it out.
What do you mean?
Build up.
Why? Not you start building up, now you're going to start affecting other wildlife. You're going to run into that boat. You will affect other wildlife if you only go up.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to have to figure it out.
There
And plus our
is no way to figure that out. I make a valid, arguable point of
Yeah.
when is enough enough. Now I'm saying right now I'm on board with everybody with saying not 1 acre, yada yada yada. Don't get me wrong on that. What I'm saying is when are we going to stop being greedy and sit there and be like, okay, what can we let go then to help out, because we can't be greedy on the whole deal. You know, we can't. I don't blame a farmer that wants to get out of farming and a land developer comes in and says, hey, I'm going to pay you so much an acre and I'm going to develop it.
It's not my ground.
Okay. And that's where we're going to run into, and guess what that does? That's going to force more people onto public ground and cause a whole nother, stir the shit pot again even more.
Well, there we go.
The only way that you can get around it is, one, becoming a landowner, yada yada yada. But the whole theory behind it though is and I will make this argument, is I think states need to step in, and here's my solution. Okay? My solution on this thing is let's let the states buy more ground and let us be able to have fun on it for so many years.
Okay.
Before they
Fishy thing says death rate is higher than birth rate. Life expectancy is declining. Birth rate is way, way, way down, which is true.
Yep, I will agree. But in the long haul, though, the population is still growing.
And, well, yeah, it's still growing, but families are getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
Issue with police.
There's going
nurse
to be a
meeting,
collapse.
The DNR laws spend days on the phone. Phone trying to get the two agencies to communicate. It's a thing. Yep. America. Actually, blah, 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 blah. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. But like I said before, yeah, cities are growing.
Yep.
There isn't going to be any ground, but that it's
So what's wrong with me saying this? Let the state step in, buy the ground, let us be able to hunt it, fish it, do whatever for 15 years, let's say. We can go in, do whatever we want, but after that 15 years, they can go in and start drilling for oil. They can start doing whatever. But if they're going to do that, there's got to be a hands off on what's already here. if they want to sit there and be like, hey, the state's going to buy this ground. This is going to become state ground. You can do whatever you want to on it. It's public hunting, public fishing, yada, 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 whatever. But in 15 years, we're going to develop it or use it for something.
Well, then they're going to have to put that in the laws and let everybody know.
Would you be okay with that?
I have no idea. Haven't really quite figured that one out because that's an option, but
I think that
let me sit on it and think about it.
Because we're going to cross that bridge sooner than you think.
Well, okay. But the federal grounds, my ground, not 1 acre, not now, not ever.
See, I'm saying not now, but I'm not going to say not ever.
Well,
Just because I'm not a greedy person.
you're not a greedy person, but
I think most hunters need to stop being greedy, and that's what it's boiling down to. It's the butting heads of the greediness of, it's us versus them. They're wanting to be greedy and land grab and yada
okay,
yada.
then
yada.
where does this stop? Where does it stop?
I just told you it stops with
when
the states buy the ground and do what they want to with it, moving forward, but make sure to give us.
Oh,
access.
you're talking about having to let the states buy the federal ground? No. Mm-hmm.
What? No, I'm not saying let the states buy the federal ground. I'm saying let the states buy the new ground.
Like ranchers' ground.
Yeah. Let's say I'll use this for an example. Let's say the state of Colorado wants to buy this 80,000 acre parcel. Okay. But in 15 years,
That's true.
They're gonna take 20,000 of it and use it for solar, wind, and drill oil on it. Okay.
Well, so
Okay, that's fine. I say, so be it. You're only doing 20,000 acres out of that 80. There's 60,000 acres left. That's a shit ton of ground.
yeah.
Okay, and then, but in that time frame, they have to also still help the wildlife out in that area, and then turn that into. There's ways around there's a way to be able to make everything work to where everybody can be happy. Now, there's always going to be your diehards that are going to be like, no, 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 no to everything and not want change. At some point in time, we have to change with the times.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm using an example of 80,000 acres, and they're going to take the closest 20,000 that's towards this town, and they're going to use so much to develop it, so that way it can help the town's economy and also help the state's economy. And they're also going to drill for oil. They're going to put solar panels in. They're going to put windmills in, whatever it may be, or they're going to do the combination of the three. I say, okay, but put stipulations in with it to be able to help out, because we use more natural resources than what are available, and we're going to have to do something to be able to continue this way of life.
Yeah.
Or here's an idea: why don't we just revert back to the native ways?
There will be a big, huge population decline there.
Only the tough survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If you're not wanting to, everybody was able to do it. You
never
at
know.
one point.
We might end up in that point though too.
Here's the thing. How are look at all the Native Americans.
We're moving to Mars.
Go for it. Not me. I'm staying right here. My thinking is okay. And I do a lot of stupid thinking because of what my job entitles me to do when it comes to driving. I think of so many stupid things just It's what I do. But
We gotta cut this off at some point.
We're gonna cut it off here shortly. Um, why don't we revert back to what the Native Americans did back in the late 1700s?
Now
the mid
you'll be
1800s?
thinking like Elon Musk and his whole, you're not a humanitarian.
I don't care.
People will call you that.
Whatever. But look at the way. How did all the Native Americans survive? You know, they had natural herbs and remedies for everything. They were very healthy. They were very fit. They took care of the land very well. I mean,
There would be a very huge, like I said, very huge population decline.
that's only because the people that live in a city think it's dirty. I could care less about people that grew up in a city. I
Like you.
I didn't grow up in a city.
You grew up in Fairbank, in town.
The world could go to shit right now, and we'd have to revert back to living Amish and Native American ways. And I can tell you right now, me and my family would. The only thing that would change is I'd have to go buy a couple of horses. That's it. I'd be able to. I can grow my own food. I can hunt my own food, and I can do what I can do and make my. I can survive. And it was said best in a country song: "A country boy can survive."
Yeah.
And that is what I am. I am a country boy. I can hunt for my food. I can fish for my food. I can grow my own food. And at some point, I think in a past life, I was a Native American. Because
Yeah, but you sure don't look like a Native American.
by no means do I look like one. No.
Yeah, you're more Neanderthal.
Maybe.
Sasquatch.
You are Sasquatch. I have a goatee.
Sasquatch. You're bigger. You're taller than I am.
Not by much.
You're taller than I am. You're
But
hairier than I am.
I'm just saying though. We can revert back and not really lose anything, and I think some people in our government want to kind of go backwards a little bit because of how good things were. I make valid
The
points.
Native Americans murdered the heck out of each other constantly.
So?
Tribalism. We all have our tribe. Just like our whole deal when we spoke up, that was our tribe. And then now we're back to you can't hunt that deer. You shouldn't have shot that deer. You shouldn't have shot that pronghorn. Release that walleye.
Right.
Yeah. So
But I'm saying
we'll figure it out.
I'm saying take the good away from it, not the bad. I'm saying take the good away with it.
Yeah.
And run with it because the Native Americans were onto something.
They were. But it was our Catholic religion that said, no, they're savages. Come to Christianity.
Fuck you, they were the savages.
Yeah, they were.
I hate if I'm related to any ancestor that dealt with that, I am.
No, not mine. Mine came over after World War I.
Mine didn't, which sucks.
All mine came. No, take that
I
back.
actually did an ancestry deal. I have relations that came over on the Mayflower.
I take that back. I did have an uncle. Oh, he came over during Civil War. He was a great uncle. Then his.
You need to add a couple greats to that.
Well, okay. Great. How many ever greats for the Civil War? He fought in the Civil War. But his siblings didn't come over until after that. And they stayed over east. And then they went up to Wisconsin.
All humans are savages. That is very true.
Yep.
And
Look at now. Don't speak up. Don't be a whistleblower.
fuck you. That's what I said.
You know what happened to the whistleblowers? Hillary got them.
But did she?
I don't know. All right, we got to cut this off. So, and get on to the next one.
Yeah, we can discuss this all the time. Like I said, though, everything on here, it's just a thought. I am
Every
applauding the
race
whole.
and every culture and every point in history has done brutal things. Exactly.
They have, but like I was saying though, let's take the good from the past and bring it back up to the forefront. I'm not against, you know, I'm not for the selling of public ground. At some point, though, this it's going to end up being a war, and it's one that I don't think we can win.
But I'm all for that war to not sell any, not 1 acre, not now, not ever. Him, on the other hand,
I I'm just being trying to be a realist of saying it's the war that we're not going to win unless drastic things happen, and the first step is going to be, and I want to be proven wrong, but we need to come together and stay united as one.
mm-hmm.
The bashing has to stop. I can't stress that enough. It has to stop. Otherwise, we are going to lose battles. And we just saw what happens when we unite as one.
Yep.
And we win.
Yep. Exactly.
Imagine if we did it on every little piece about it. Starting with the hunting, the fishing, the non-bashing, the letting people do what they want with their hard-earned money.
Yep.
And good things will happen.
Yep. Just like the ribeye in the sky, that one state should be able to eat the sandhill cranes. They can shoot them, but can't eat them.
That is true.
I don't know what state that is.
I know you can't do it in Iowa.
No. Can't hunt sandhill cranes in Iowa.
Although I see them fuckers all the time.
And so,
God, that'd be awesome. I'd even do it if it was a draw system. I'd put in for that all the time. I would love to go shoot me some sandhill cranes.
yep. All right.
But
So,
until the next one, we're going to end the live. We're going to jump into another topic or two. And
all right.
these will be posted on a week-to-week deal. So
Until we can meet again and do some more. So,
make sure to check Mason out. What's going to be your new deal that you're going to be switching
there's
to?
going to be Wapsie River Rat Adventures. We're going to be switching over to that. And
But you're not changing anything. You're just
adding the hunting or whatever that has to deal with the outdoors.
And the whole Wapsie River Rat hunting is just going to become Wapsie River Rat podcast.
Yep.
And the things that will be posted on it are mainly going to be the podcast. And then I will add little snippets of when I'm out checking the trail camera, checking food plots, hanging stands, doing stuff, whatever. It's just going to be short, little stuff, shorts, short little video clips of some of the trail camera pictures I get.
Yep.
That sort of thing. But a lot of it, when we get into the discussions, it's going to be on his deal when it's hunting, our setups, what we use, why we use it, yada, 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 the whole shebang, just to continue, it's just going to be an addition of him making his own baits. And then when it getting closer like it is now towards hunting season, it's going to be a little bit of fishing, a little bit of hunting, and then the closer it gets to hunting, it's going to be a little less fishing, more hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it, there's always going to be a little transition deal, but it's not going to be going away from him making his baits or anything. It's just going to be an addition to everything.
So,
but what do they need to do?
Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and ring that notification bell.
And the more that you guys do that, like I said, the process is in the works of actually having a little podcast studio, and hopefully we can get people to come and visit us, sit down, have a chat, have a drink, do whatever, and jump on with us and do things, and hopefully have this grow to what some of the other people that are doing a good job of it are doing, and try and join the club with them.
Yep.
But
So-
until then, this is what you're getting for right now until we actually get the banners, and the studio kind of set up to where it actually looks professional and trying to get people around. But until the next one, like our good buddy Jordan says, hunt hard, have fun, do what makes you happy, and he always ends it with God bless. So,
How I
I know
mine is
what-
we'll see it on the river.
and like he says, see you on the river, I'll see you out in the woods or out on the streets. It doesn't matter. But until the next one, guys, hunt's hard, be safe, and just remember, have fun and be kind.
Yep.
God bless everybody.
All right, what's the next one?
I don't know what one.
Fishy things. Did someone say ribeye? Steak. No, this is ribeye in the sky.
Sandhill cranes.
Sandhill cranes. Their breast meat is exactly like
A ribeye
a
steak.
ribeye steak.
Same marbleization, everything, and that's why they got the
Yep.
nickname, the ribeye of the sky, because of how juicy and tender their meat can be.
Yep. All right, what's the next one?
I don't know, but we won't go off of the live with it, but we'll need to figure it out. I gotta take a.
You need to take a leak.
Yeah, I gotta
We're not gonna have the live with it.
not with the next one.
Why?
Well, we only got fishy things on, and
Well, we don't know if we have 0 on there right now.
yeah.
We can still keep going
I mean, if you want to.
because that's more viewership hours and everything else like that.
Do you want to have one geared more towards? It's only 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do 2 more. Let's do one geared towards more hunting. Let's try and stay on the topic of hunting and
Hunting.
yeah, like tree stands, food plots, ground blinds, archery, gun.
Well, that's more.
Not
good.
well. You need to jump into on your end. It's be more practice for you to be able to jump in and know what to say and do and all that.
What's say and do? Somebody keeps jumping in and out. Shit.
Oh, I'm drunk. I'm walking like I'm drunk, but I'm not. I want to do one. Oh shit! I don't want that. I want that.
Somebody keeps jumping in and out.
Oh.
What are you doing? Come on, fishy things left.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Colin,
Mason here.
and this is. What's this say? We can say episode 2.
Andrea.
It's a stupid thing. All those bots on
Oh.
Snapchat. This would be episode 2 of the new podcast, Wapsie River at Podcast.
Yep.
The other ones we're doing a changeover.
Yep.
Mason's numero uno on this whole ordeal.
Yep.
I'm helping out, and this is actually going to stick. I mean, the other ones that we've done, but Mason's gonna jump in a little bit more to help the podcast grow. So it's just Wapsie River at podcast.
Yep, and then there's going to be the new Wapsie River at Adventures channel. Right now it just says Wapsie River at Fishing. We'll get it switched over. So I got to wait on a little bit on that because of the whole regulation name change thing on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
And he's going to post when these go up. I will let him know when I'm going to post them. And he's going to share them on all platforms.
Yep. And so, but, yep. So that's the whole ordeal there. It'd be a lot easier. Con likes doing the podcast thing. And
I don't know why. I enjoy doing this stuff.
Yep. So, and then hopefully we can get enough people on that channel to do live, and we can have other people join in on the live. So,
I mean, technically he's live right now on YouTube.
Yep.
But we'll answer questions as they come in, but normally it's just for now until this grows. I do have a couple of guests lined up. We're going to get Jordan Nuss on one. He's a good friend of ours. We're going to help with Retopia Outdoors. He's a very, very busy person, so we're going to do what we can to help him out. Another good friend that I'm going to end up getting on is one of the guys that runs in DNS Tackle.
Yep.
He does what Mason does, but he's also a veteran.
Yep.
He's also he's a good all-around guy. He's an avid outdoorsman. He likes to hunt. He likes to fish. And he knows a thing or two when it comes to making baits. Mason chats with him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done switching on with baits and molds. Whenever he has a question, he gets a hold of Mason. When Mason has a question, he gets a hold of him. It's, a good round robin deal and relationship that we have. And he allows us every once in a while to, we've had permission to hunt his property, Graceland, for quite a while.
Yep. And also we need to get Average Joe's on.
Yep, we got to do one.
Average Joe podcast with them. Because they had both me and Colin on when we were with Retopia. But we're still in with Retopia. We're just going to be helping him out. Helping him grow. Yep, helping him grow.
We've got a lot of good turkey hunts on Retopia right now. Jordan's got one up from last year. This year was a rough year for turkey hunting. Out of all of us, only one turkey was shot.
Yep.
And that was my boy that shot one opening weekend, this technically second day.
Well, Jordan got one. He was with
youth
his friend,
season. Jordan did tag out third and fourth season. I had a very rough turkey season this year. It was due to loss of property. That's what happens when you don't lease and you're just fly. I don't know if you'd say fly by night sort of person.
Mm-hmm.
It was just no money was involved. It was all a knock on the door, a handshake, and the landowner can do what they want. No hard feelings were broken on it.
Mm-hmm.
Still a great person, and no hard feelings towards one another. Like I said, all around nice guy. It's just the reason we lost it is more of his family members saw the success we were having and wanted to try and go out and do their thing, and it's more of us saying, hey, by all means, it's your property, thanks for letting us be able to be a part of it and have fun and make some memories. Go ahead, you guys definitely deserve to be able to go and do the same thing. It's your, it's their property. So, like I said, no hard feelings were in it. Does it suck? Yes, it does. But that's just that's just how the cookie crumbled with it. It's not a buy forever on the property by any means whatsoever, because we had such or still have a good relationship because we played by the rules and everything, and we knew, well, I knew at the time when they gave me permission that it was on a time scale. They didn't just know when it was going to come about. Um, but I'm glad that they're wanting to do more hunting than anything with the property because it's getting more people involved in the outdoors, and that's a plus. And so I have, like I said, I don't have any issues whatsoever with it, and I'm not one that's big into leasing anyways because I got better ways to spend my money than making sure I have a place to hunt, because as long as there's public ground to hunt, I'll be able to go hunt.
Yep.
So, but other than that, if we can, a little recap of my boy is now batting 2 for 2 on turkeys. When it comes to doing it, he shot his biggest one to date this year. I do have a video clip. It's not very good at all. I'll actually have Mason put it up on his deal. The video, I will admit, does suck. But I know that he can do his editing magic to
Try to, anyways.
make it feasible. The shot was not on camera, but that was because I totally forgot. I went into full on dad mode to make sure I wanted him to be successful. It's exactly 100% how the hunt went down, and like I said, it was a trial and error. It was just me and my boy sitting in the blind, and like I said, I went full dad mode and wanted him to be successful. I was not caring one bit if I had the turkey in frame or whatever. Actually, the camera was actually pointing at the ground when I was trying to help him out. He made, my son does have a slight disability with things. He's very smart, very intelligent. If you see him, you wouldn't think he's behind it all. When it comes to school, he's great. He's awesome. Ahead of his class and stuff. When you actually go to talk to him, he doesn't understand things fully. And he's got another deal when he can only eat certain things and stuff. So he's not like us on the spectrum or anything like that. It's just a learning curve that he'll end up growing out of at some point. There's also a possibility that he may not, which is totally fine. But for him to be able to do the adjustments and everything that he did impressed the hell out of me. And it was a huge learning curve that he learned that he's capable of doing a lot more than what he thinks. And I couldn't be more proud of what he did this spring when going and shooting, and the emotion that he shows that I had made the right decision on that to do all that. And like I said, I couldn't be more proud of him by any means. That I don't consider what happened for this turkey season to be anything of a downfall. It was.
Is that you, Andy? I think it is. Happy 4th of July, Andy.
Like I said, he's doing.
Sorry, I'm on live. That's our friend Andy.
When we grew up. Oh shit! Hey, Rourkster, hi. How's it going? Deuces, buddy. Deuces. I don't think this turkey season was any means a bad one. Me personally was rough on my end, but as a whole, I think turkey season was an absolute blast. My main goal was to make sure that he got a turkey. My daughter went out for the first time. Those were my main goals. Mm-hmm. And to know that even though my daughter did not get one, she is now hooked on it because of the experience that we had. I will try and get what I can up for Mason for that to come up. And moving forward when it comes to our hunts, there may be times that we will or will not get the shot on video because we're not going to risk losing an opportunity on a harvest because it does. We mainly do it for food and everything else, not for likes and views and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're gonna. The main things will be captured though in the hunt. The excitement, the celebration, the lows, the disappointment. All that stuff will be captured on video.
Yeah. Yep. But this spring I did not go out because of my eye situation.
Which you got fixed.
Yep, got fixed, and now I am on.
You're on a mission to
Yep.
kill some stuff.
Yep. Most definitely. So, and I got my contact, which I absolutely love, but it was so expensive, so expensive.
So worth it.
Yeah, so worth it, but so expensive. I just can't believe how expensive the contact was. So, but absolutely glad of getting that done. So then now, yeah, most definitely gonna be killing some stuff.
With a bow, with a gun.
Mm-hmm. With a bow, with a gun. So, but I'll be doing a lot of filming, a lot of recording to try and get this up and off the ground. We're getting close to 500 subscribers on this channel, and which I'm not 100% sure where we're at right now, but we'll figure
With
it out.
Wapsie River at Hunting Adventure. Or not.
Hunting Adventures.
Not
It's-
Adventures.
Just, yeah, Wapsie River at Adventures. And
On the podcast deal, we're still needing, we've got a long ways to go, and please help
Yeah.
it grow.
yep,
We will end up having a studio setting with microphones, everything. We'll have a backdrop that says in the background, is like a logo deal. Some of our
Mhm.
mounts, we may move a lot of our mounts into that area, so that way it gives off the vibe, the setting, and we'll be able to sit there and
we need to
share
get some air conditioning and heaters in there.
That will not be an issue. If I have to bring in a portable fan AC, we'll do it. It's not an issue. Also, it'll also be our makeshift little bow shop where we do little things
Yep.
on our own equipment that I can do. But I'm a firm believer in doing stuff, keeping the mom and pop archery shops open.
Yep.
So when it comes to doing something major, I don't want to take away from them. Do I know how to
Hellboy
change
says,
things?
"Hell yeah, I watch all the time." Well, good. You just need to get up on there and start commenting, boy.
We
Sorry.
I do know how to change strings on a bow. Personally, I don't want to do it, but do I know how? Yes, I would much rather spend the money to help support a shop in the area, so that way they can stick around, because they're going to be the ones that are going to really help people also get into the industry, and there's a lot of good ones around. Being in this part of Iowa, some of the really smaller ones are starting to go away, so I try to share the love wherever I can.
Yeah. And, but yeah. So, you're doing a lot of work on the ground. I haven't been over there at all this year.
Oh, don't even get me started. Don't. It was last night, okay? I go out, and the week before, I noticed that I put in some decent sized food plots. I planted chufa, I've planted clover, I've planted forage rape, I've planted chicory, had it all tilled up nice, nothing was really growing. Put the seed down, and boy, oh boy, did the heavens open up with rain, and boy, oh boy, did that native grass that was there, whoo, almost choked everything out. So I went in, tried to start mowing. I did weed whip one of them down to help it out, and that's actually looking a little bit better because I did it. I noticed the other ones you couldn't even tell because the grass had to start to take it over. So I went in, did the normal, hey, whoa, man down. Mason's got to figure something out here with that. But anyways, oh, you did green screen? How'd you do that?
I don't know.
Wow. So, anyways, uh, I went out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and mow them on high, so that way I can get the grass down, get more sunlight and stuff for the clover and for a drake to kick in. And because it was up so high, ended up choking my mower out and blowing the belt completely off my mower. And it's like, F my life.
Yeah.
I've had a really rough week when it comes to things happening, so it was, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's
another
impressive.
piece of the cake.
Was that a green screen? Yeah, it was. I don't know how I did it or anything like that. So, but yeah, sorry, I got a live up. But yeah, he blew the belt on his mower, so we got to get out there with some weed eaters. Possibly just bring my mower out. Maybe. Well, I'm hoping.
I mean, if we have to one of these days in the near future, I think we may have to
just take the brush hog out there. With your
uh,
dad's tractor.
weed eat it down and just go out and retail it and hope for the best for come deer season.
They'll still go out there.
We do know for next year we're going to do things totally different. As long as I have been told that I don't have to worry about this property because of the work and everything and the relationship that I have with the landowner.
Well, so the other thing I was thinking was like next year, we can get that inner tube in my mom's A. All right, and the inner tube on my mom's Super A, and
We can just drive that.
there's a belly mower. There's a belly mower on it. I'm not driving that Super A all the way to Janesville.
I drove my dad's tractor from Janesville to frickin' damn near Waverly.
Yeah, but I'm not driving it from Klinger to Janesville.
Why? You just only got to cross one highway. Take gravel all the way down.
I am not. No, it don't drive that fast.
So? It
No,
only take you an hour and a half.
I'll take my dad's tractor, my trailer, and we'll load it up, and then we'll take it over there.
Okay, whatever. I'm just saying, you could just drive the damn thing over there.
Or we can just take your dad's trailer too.
If he ever gets it fixed.
Oh, so, but yeah. Anyway, so I just use the belly mower and mow it.
Which, I mean, we've got the equipment we can get our hands on the equipment to be able to do between me, Mason.
It's just a lot of fixing.
And everything is just, we're fortunate that we have some equipment to get our hands on and not have to pay for.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to do things differently for next year. But we're hoping that we won't have to do too much extra.
Drive your dad's tractor from there.
Oh, it's a very high possibility that may happen. That very well may happen.
But yeah, with the brush hog on it.
That's a very high possibility. Just might take me. Well, it took me 35 minutes to do it from Janesville out there, but it was. I found out why farmers like driving tractors. Very relaxing. Had my earbuds in, listened to music. I'm butting along. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
But
I enjoyed myself. Got burnt, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah. So there's that. I haven't been out there at all, but I've been busy with dealing with YouTube, dealing with the eye situation. So I'll be out there. Need to get the weed area out there.
We've got a lot of work to get it up to par. Especially by the end of the month, we need to start getting ground blinds up for youth season, so that way the deer start getting used to them for youth. And we're going to make a few tree stand adjustments, and I like to do all that end of July to the middle of August. That way the deer get used to everything.
Mm-hmm.
By the time season rolls around, I hate doing stuff during mid-season. I have yet to have it pan out, and I've just learned not to do it. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be sticky. It's going to be mosquito-y. It's not going to be fun, but the reward is always worth it in the end. He may not think so, but
It's not.
He doesn't see it the way I do.
I don't like hot. I don't like humid. I don't like mosquitoes.
And I do. But
More
anyway.
than I do.
No. I just don't bitch because I know it's got to get done. I'm not a pansy and it's hot. Oh, I can't go do it. No, it's got to be done. Otherwise, we're just throwing money away. And when it comes to the seeds and everything else, we're just throwing. Oh, hi, we spent $100 on seeds. Ah, piss on it. Well, you might as well just take the $100 bill and light it up.
Or just
No, do the work right. Otherwise, don't do it at all. I'm all in or all not. What? That's it. And that's the way the farmer wants us to be, in all honesty. And because of me going all in, it's earned me what I'm able to do out there now. So I have to be an all-in person. So, and you gotta admit, it's pretty damn good ground.
well, at least I'll be
all in.
filming, and you'll be doing most of the work.
Oh no!
Oh,
No!
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
No! You got to be helping. You will be running a weed eater, or you will be running the tractor.
Hey,
You
we gotta
will
get
do something.
footage.
That is fine, but you'll still be on a tractor or running a weed eater. You will be doing work. The guy does keep track of who comes out there and helps me. Because I have a written deal with him that if you do not come out and actually help, I am not allowed to bring that person out because he is that old school of a person of why let somebody else reap off your hard work.
Yeah, well, I'll be filming.
No, you will be working because he can watch from his kitchen table and see who's out there actually working and helping instead of just standing around twiddling my thumbs. Do. Trust me, I've learned that with talking to him and stuff. Great guy. He just doesn't like seeing people getting taken advantage of, and so
I'm not taking advantage.
I
of
know
it.
you're not, but we're gonna make it look like you're actually doing something. So and we'll have this to be able to prove it. So, but anyways, like I said, this is a whole new overhaul between the two.
We're still getting shit figured out.
I think, but we're definitely 100% running this route now, and we will not be deviating from it anytime in the foreseeable future. With the name change and stuff, when we do get the subscribers up and the likes are up, we are doing a giveaway at the end of the month.
No, we are.
Yeah.
Because my giveaway is once I hit 500 subscribers.
We're going to push hard to get the 500 subscribers by the end of the month. We're going to do, let's kick it up one notch. We got 8 gears to go. We're in first gear. They're going to kick her into second right now and get her rolling. I think we can do it by the end of the month.
I'll throw in the shrimp.
Okay. We'll do a deal with some soft baits. You'll get either a variety or a few of something specific that he may have, and
I was doing a Plano box.
there you go. And then once we get higher in our subscribers and the likes and everything and the following, we will do
give away some calls.
either a grunt call, slate call, box call for turkey hunting, The minute that we know that it is doing well, we will have shirts made. We will have hats made to where we can do as giveaways. And when we hit the big time, when we possibly get to hit the sponsorship part and actually get sponsors, we'll also be doing giveaways with
Affiliates.
those.
Affiliates.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Affiliates.
We will be doing that. So, we may even do something where I do a lot of fletching of my own arrows. And if, we're up in that point and somebody likes the setup that I'm running, I can cut and build you an arrow exactly what I shoot or what Mason shoots or what one of the wives or kids shoots. You can do it just for that and send them. You send me the arrows you want. I can do all that, and then I can turn around, repackage them, and send them back, sort of thing. The sky's going to be the limit for us.
Yep. We got to get it up and going. So we need those subscribers.
We are working. I am working on an actual podcast room. Like I said earlier, we'll try and get like a banner or something made with the logo, and we'll have our mounts moved into it. He's got a deer mount.
My deer mount's coming down here.
We need to put it in the podcast room.
We're putting it right here.
Well, we need to turn.
Before when I do my videos and they see the background.
Well, we need to. We're going to turn.
Here.
We're going to.
You have plenty of mounts.
Not enough. We're going to add mounts from him. We might add a few from whoever our guests are that are going to help us out with it. We'll have some of their stuff in there, and then, like I said, once we get affiliates, sponsors, whatever, we'll make sure to have a
take
spot.
that turkey mount.
We'll have a spot where we can do. They'll be listed either behind us or whatever. We'll figure that out when the time comes, but we'll do something like that. So.
I did find one that I'm trying to work with.
Okay.
It's called Killshot Coffee Company.
Okay.
And a portion of the money goes towards getting kids outside.
Good. That's a good one to get behind.
Yeah.
Mason's pretty much going to be the brains behind this and
Videoing.
the videoing. He's got that special talent that I don't. So, all the editing and everything will be done through this guy.
Yep.
And then, like I said, sky's the limit when we get to a different point. Maybe it'll be more getting somebody else involved in it that we truly trust. We are going to be helping out Retopia Outdoors and Jordan Nust. We are going to be helping out DNS Tackle.
Yep.
We are, and anybody else that wants to jump on board, we can do something with that. So that's kind of where we're going to go. I know I might be repeating myself a little bit on this, but I just want to make sure to get it out there. But it's been kind of the start of 2025 has been a roller coaster. Hopefully now we're gone down the last hill and now we're going to plateau and just start going up, and hopefully we just continue up and then just plateau and go for the easy ride. So we touched a little bit on the downfall of everything, but so far this year we've got food plots in. We got to go and get them fixed or maintain them. We need to, like I said, I have chufa, clover, chicory, and forage rate planted. The field that butts up to it, you can kind of see in some of the videos I do have posted. It is an actual cornfield planted this year. We don't have to worry about water on the property because it butts up to a river, and it does hold water elsewhere for all the wildlife. Every time I'm out there, there's a bunch of never have an issue with deer, turkeys, pheasants, yada yada yada. It's a hunter's paradise on this chunk of ground
What did
that
we
we
name
have.
that ground?
I can't. I don't know because we were sticking along the lines of Elvis related for some dumb reason, but I don't think we ever settled on one. We got Graceland, which is over by here, but I don't think we actually named the property. I think we should just call it Paradise because it is a hunter's paradise.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
So, um, but that's kind of where we're at right now with things. We're going to, here in the next few weeks, start prepping for youth season, and we're going to go over ground blinds, tree stands, setups, yada yada yada, why we do what we do, and why we do it that way and not the way somebody else does. Because for me personally, I've got over 30 years experience hunting whitetails. I've learned
I'm nowhere near that.
I've learned from some of the best people that are in the industry and people that I just grew up around with, from my dad, his friends, and experience and knowledge. I am what some would consider a old school hunter. I'm not new. I don't run a bunch of trail cameras. I'm not going to sit there and I might let my kids name a deer. We had one that they liked that we wanted to do. We named him Krabs, and the other one we named Patrick. And there was another one we named SpongeBob. Well, Krabs, Patrick, and SpongeBob all got shot off this property during first season shotgun last year. And I ended up actually putting a non-fatal hit on
Mr. Krabs.
Patrick. It was not Krabs that I put the non-fatal hit.
Wow.
It was Patrick. Krabs was. I had 3 encounters hunting with Krabs, and the one best opportunity I had was first ever in 30 plus years of whitetail deer hunting. I did an all-day sit during bow season, and he was the only deer that I saw, and I grunted and rattled him right in, and I was not presented a good shot. I wanted to take the shot, but I figured I would get my chance, and lo and behold, I did get my chance, but it was not on him. It was on a buck that actually was a little bit bigger than Krabs, which was Patrick, and I totally messed it up. But it was like I said, it was a non-fatal hit, and 2 weeks later ended up getting shot during Iowa's first shotgun season, and all 3 of them actually got shot on opening day within the first 6 hours of Iowa's first shotgun season opener. So
Yep.
it was a bummer. It happens. That's what you get when you don't lease ground. But I'm okay with it because every year this property seems to end up getting at least 2, possibly 3 bucks that go over the magical 150-inch mark. But we're not opposed to shooting smaller ones. We do a slight management program of definitely with the does, because there are more does than anything on this property, which does help come throughout time frame. But also I've only shot 1 buck off of the property in the 8 years I've hunted it. And it's not due to not seeing them or anything. It's just either I didn't have a shot, I didn't like the shot opportunity, or it was late in the year, and it's like, you know what? I'd much rather have the meat, and I take what's given to me, and 99% of the time it's been a big mature doe, and I am A-okay with that. So, I'm by no means a trophy hunter. He definitely is not a trophy hunter. A lot of the guys I hunt with are not trophy hunters, which I think also helps in the reasoning of there being big deer on the property.
Yep.
We're going to cover, like I said, numerous things: stands, blinds, our setups, our bows, you name it. We're going to cover the whole spectrum of things. Uh, from hunting and fishing, scouting, you name it, food plots. You know, we're gonna do it all. So, I don't know. Like I said, he's running live. It's kind of
Dead.
dwindled down. I would say.
Or got one person on here, but I'm still gonna let it run.
Okay.
Probably until like once I get to 3 hours.
Okay. Podcasts will be released once a week on the week.
Try to.
Um, and like I said, on the podcast channel, there will be updates on the week from here on out. Whether it be a short edit or a little video of me explaining something or something I might have caught online,
Yep.
bashing whatever, something like that will be. But most definitely we'll make sure to push out a podcast at least once a week.
Yep.
Definitely before we hit the 2 week time frame, one will always drop.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just gonna be me and him BSing, or we're gonna have a guest on, or something else. This one that we're doing probably will not be our long typical one. We just did one a little bit ago, and we went over the hour mark. I'm gonna try and shoot for right around that hour. But if it's a really good topic, I will let it go until who laid the rail.
Mm-hmm.
Might even continue it into a part 2. But that's going to require, feedback from everybody else.
Yep.
And like I said, the more feedback that we get, we don't care if it's bad. We don't care if, we do want it to be good, but it's not going to hurt our feelings if it's bad. With the live, we had a few people jump on and running their mouths or whatever. So it's like, okay, you can just toodly do. You're no skin off our backs.
Yep.
So, the one podcast that we did before, we'll get into topics where we'll sound like a married couple, and we'll go back and forth and get each other going.
Yep.
Because
like we did last time. Last podcast.
And the one that's coming after this, we're gonna do the same thing, because we know that's what people are gonna want to see is our opinions on things and
2 different views
and our reactions with one another. And him and I can disagree, but in the long haul, it's hearsay.
Yep.
Because
his political views don't line up with mine. My political views don't line up with his.
But that's the main thing. We will never get totally political on either channel.
Even with, I don't know. There isn't a whole lot we don't disagree with. But
No. No, but there were definitely no pet naming.
Or there'll be pet naming.
No.
Oh, yeah, I give you pet names. Sugar.
That's what I deal with. Anytime I call, hey, with a question or just check up.
What's up, beautiful?
It's that, or what's up,
hey,
sugar mama?
Hey, girlfriend, hey.
This is what we deal with on a daily basis.
Or if I totally want to give you shit, I just go, what's up, Sasquatch?
How? I don't know, when he looks more like Sasquatch than I do.
You're taller than I am.
You're hairier.
You have the build.
You're hairier. You look more like a Squatch than I do.
You have the build, though.
And we will talk about some things that we see or notice on TikTok too, because
Oh.
Dingle Nuts has got me hooked on the Sasquatch TikToks. I've showed my wife a few of them. Oh my lord, are they hilarious and come across to a point, but it's hilarious.
The one I like now is where the colonial Revolutionary War with Trump and not Trump, with George Washington and the British.
The one that gets me every time, and it's they're doing it as a joke. I do know this, and if they're not, shame on them, but that's the way it's coming across. Then you got Sasquatch running through the woods. You can't shoot me, I ain't black enough. Hilarious. And the thing of it is, he's running from Green Pants. And if you don't know who Green Pants are, it's the game wardens.
Yep.
And they're hilarious. And that's what I think it's a good thing that's come around. They do push the limit very, very much so. And it makes some of them you do not want to have around the kids because of how controversial they can be, but they're doing it for laughs. I truly honestly believe that. I hope they are for who's doing it, but it is hilarious.
But yeah, so they but anyway, for blinds, where are you gonna put them?
On food plots.
On food plots.
On food plots. I think that's going to be our go-to early season. I don't know if I'll actually even get in a stand this year due to my knee issues that have redeveloped. So
I'm still having knee problems.
Also, I have developed hand
Hand
issues that are out of my control because of an incident that happened last year. I'll actually get into that, a little bit of that now. It was just after hunting. After a hunt, I made a stop after work, and I was looking for a deer that it was Patrick, and I had the arrow from when I had shot him, and I did not have the arrow properly put away at the time frame. None of my stuff was because it was in my truck. I ended up, I don't know if you can see the scar, actually, it's right there.
All right, I'm gonna cut this off.
Took my broadhead in, and it was a very deep puncture. I just missed